Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome. Happy Monday. We are delighted that you're taking time from your day, from your week, and I know busy day for many people, work, maybe some full-time work for many of you and other projects, but thank you for being here. Your choice to be here each week says so much. It says that you care about connecting in community and staying consistent and informed with what we're doing. So each week when we come together as a team and as a community, it really is. And our purpose is to keep our focus on the mission of inspiring healthy living around the world. And every time we have a conversation, every time we invite somebody to lean in and learn more, every time we come to a call like this, we are working on just those things. And the Mission Possible team is a growing team of inspired individuals who are dedicated, ambassadors, really dedicated to creating a healthier life for as many as possible. So thank you again to everybody who is zooming in from whatever part of the country you're zooming in from tonight. And if you saw my flyer, if you saw the flyer that we posted earlier in Voxer today about our conversation, and we put a fun little flyer together. It said the summer slump is canceled. I don't even know if that meant anything to anybody, or I don't, summer, I often say about summer for the last 10 or 15 years, there's no lazy, hazy days of summer. We used to get out of school, we used to have some downtime, but it seems like summer activities tend to ramp up in the summertime. At least I've noticed that. So no really lazy, hazy days of summer. So we want to talk about what is being offered, and I'm going to share my screen several times tonight just to make sure that we all have a visual of what we're talking about. But the company has offered to us that we can shine bright this summer. And how do we do that? There's a variety of ways. We can bring on some new people and help them get to Partner Plus, and that would get them samples of $100, and that does get some people going quickly. 120 events in 120 days. We're going to talk about this. This started in May, goes to the end of August. And then for existing and new partners, U+2 builds a crew. Well, what does all that mean? What does that mean, shine bright this summer? And so I got to thinking about that today. And one of the things that I've asked myself over the years is three questions. There's three questions that you might want to write down. It comes from Stephen Covey. It's not original to me. But why? What do you want? First of all, what do you want? What is important to you? What do you want from your business this summer? Think about that. What would you want from your business this summer? And then why do you want it? And that's going to be the deeper question. Why do we want something from our business this summer? Or why would we want to engage in our business this summer? And then how do we do it? But before we can get to the how, you got to decide what. And I'm just going to share with you real quickly. Many of you know my story. When I started 40 years ago, my what was to earn $500 a month. I needed $500 a month, but why did I need that $500 a month? I think that's the most important question. The why was to pay bills and eat, literally pay bills and eat. Do you know anybody who's, when I think about the question that my sponsor asked me all that time ago, do you know of anybody who could use some extra income? Our company is looking for a few good people. You all don't know my sponsor because she quit a long time ago, but she was a pastor's wife. And she used to say, I was so shy, I could not lead in silent prayer. All right, that's shy, guys. That's somebody that doesn't have much self-image or courage. But somewhere she had the courage to ask me that question. And she brought Ben Johnson to my house, 3 hours from Memphis to Clarksville, Tennessee. They drove, because remember, we didn't have Zoom, we didn't have conference calls, we didn't do all that stuff 40 years ago. We went to see people. And they drove to Clarksville, Tennessee, which was a little over 3 hours that day, to show me how I could make $500. Now, they didn't know that I would say yes. It was just that I said, tell me more. And I will tell you all, literally, I'm so grateful for my own family but the impact that I know that I have had on literally thousands of other people in this company and around the world, I couldn't even begin to put a price tag on. It has nothing to do with the money. So what do we want? What do you want from your business this summer? Why do you want it? And then how are we going to do it? And so many of us are doing some Kristen Boss work, and I'm probably preaching to the choir here, but if you haven't engaged with Kristen Boss, I encourage you to do it. She definitely has the pulse of what's going on in the direct sales business and industry today, no question about it. But one of the questions that she asked us to do on one of the Zooms that we were with her a couple weeks ago, here's the question, or here's the assignment. I'm going to ask you guys to do it too. Take a moment to reflect on why it's important for you to stay consistent in your business this summer. And you don't all have to talk at once, but why would it be important to stay consistent in our business this summer? If anybody wants to offer up, you can. But let me just give you another little statement that she said, and I've said this in a different way. Oftentimes, the fruit of our labors takes 60 to 90 days. So you need to have a strong and compelling why so that it will keep you engaged in the work while you're waiting for the fruit of that labor to happen. Would you all agree that that's true? We can have some quick wins in our business. We can get some customers and have some quick wins, but if you're looking for stability, certainty, long-term, it takes some time. Would you all not agree? Are we in a culture these days that wants to take time? Are we? Are we in a patient culture anymore? No, anybody can unmute. You guys can unmute. This is, I don't want to be this just to be a presentation, but a conversation.
Well, I know for me that I don't know that I've ever let up in summer. It's another work day. I don't see it as a season. I see it as it's just marching forward, one foot in front of the other. And if I were to slow down or quit for months like that, I would lose so much momentum, not just in the business, but mentally. I can't even imagine what that would do to me mentally. It would be so hard to get started again. You know, when you lose momentum of any kind, it's that much more effort to make it move again. And golly, I don't even want to go there. I can't even imagine what it would be like. So it's too important to me to keep it going.
That's well said, Sandy. Good insight.
Yeah, I was thinking of somewhat similarly in terms of momentum, keeping the ball rolling. And to me, it's about keeping the fun rolling. Mm-hmm. Planning events, doing events. It's really fun. I just had a coffee tea with a woman that came to our sour in a jar. Whatever it is, that sourdough thing. The sour in a jar. I think that's a good one. We should try. And started taking all 4 of the products. So we got together and just getting to know her more and creating that connection with people on a deeper level. And really that to me is like such a huge part of this business, is being in that connection, in that community, and just going from there. And kind of what Sandy said, I can't imagine what else would I do to stay in community and keep sharing the love, because of foundationally, I feel like that's what we're about, is sharing the love and making an impact. And why not? Why,
Well,
yeah.
One of the things, this is going to be my 3rd Mediterranean Bowl event in 8 weeks. And I started with 6. Last time I had 18. This time I have 19. But people people are like, I'll catch you the next time, Margie. I'm like, oh, I better plan the next time. But people are really loving the idea of having fun, trying something different. But truthfully, from a money point of view, I'm going to put it on the table. I got a letter from the company last month that said, do you know you could get some money by having, like, I think it's 40 customers and having a certain volume, and paying attention to the details is why for 327 months I've had a qualified business, is paying attention every month. Do I have the number? I mean, and that's been a long time. So over 27 years, but now I have a new number to look at.
Yeah.
I just looked at my number because I had a grandbaby the last 3 weeks. I focused into my baby, but I just missed. I didn't have 40, and I was just a little short of my volume. But if I could do that the next 2 months, I think I'd get like $500 or something like that. I was just like, I just didn't read that compensation plan. I don't know what's been missing on me. But it's just like, and I'm sorry, I am not a mercenary person. And people might not think I'm money related, but you know that money pays for airline tickets to go see your grandbabies?
Yes.
So I mean, those damn kids moved to California. Those airfares cost expensive, so, but I mean, paying attention to the numbers at another level, it was a new thought to me. So, but
Super.
I will tell you, having fun. I'm just so excited that I have so many people coming tomorrow. I'm like,
Wow.
oh my God.
Congratulations, Margie. And yes, money does pay for airline tickets and all kinds of other things. That is so well said. So congratulations. I know you're going to do it because I know that you are a goal-oriented person, and
Oh, I am goal oriented.
I know you
like
will do it.
stars and
Yeah.
stripes. And it's the baby boomer in me. You can see my white hair. Okay. But we do like prizes.
Yeah, we do. So
Well, and like Sharon said, you don't want to be complacent and take time off just because you want to be present. If you're taking 3 months off, Sharon said some people get surprised or, just yeses, just orders that just pop up. Well, if you are present and constantly doing your business, more people see you out there. And then when they're looking for vitamins, they think of you. Whereas if you're silent for 3 months, they're not going to think of you. So you get less of those pop-up orders.
very good. Thank you, Bonnie. So couple questions for you for us to think about for just a minute. Because really this business is a lot about conversation and relationship building. Would you all not agree? It really is about relationships and community and connection and love and contribution and all of those things. So we're either having conversations with one or the other mindset. Are you having conversations with the intent to sell or to tell? Or are you having conversations with the intent to listening conversations, to lean in and say, tell me more? And if you did say, tell me, are you hearing what people are saying today? We had a great conversation this morning on our leadership call, and I don't know if we can reconstruct it or not and go from there, but what are some of the pain points that people aren't going around saying, I need more money. I don't think so. But what are some of the things they are saying? Like, I'd love to take my family on a vacation, but I'm never able to do that. Have you heard that? Maybe you've said it. What other pain points are we hearing? Has anybody noticed what the cost of living is compared to what it was a year ago for food, gas, utilities, rent for the average person?
Yes. Sharon, the other morning on TV, it was so sad had to hear a military family, a mother talking about how just to pay, they're retired, and they thought they'd have enough, and now with inflation the way it is, they don't even have enough. She said by the time we pay for our house payment, our car payment, and our insurance, and that, she says we don't really have much left for groceries. And I thought, how sad is that? So we know right there, if you know any military people, they may be needing some help if they're retired. So just an idea.
Good point, Judy. Thank you. What else are we hearing? Pain points that maybe we're not really paying attention to? Because I don't know that I went around and I think my pain point was divorce and debt, but I wasn't saying that to anybody. I had not spoken it out loud, but somebody had enough love and courage or whatever in their own heart to ask me a question. I'm just curious, what are we doing? If we're going to have a great summer, if we're going to look back in September, if we're going to look back in September at the end of the month, at the end of the summer and go like, we look at Labor Day, we go like, what did we do? How did that go? What was our engagement? What was our consistency? So let's talk about the how. What are some of the hows? I mean, maybe somebody else wants to hear some of the conversation the pain points that you've been hearing out there. But I'm thinking I was talking to a young man at our country club the other day, and I was asking him, was this all he did? Was this the only job you had? No, I do 2 other things. And I said, why do you do side gigs? Tell me what young people are doing side gigs for today. He said, mine would be college debt. And so, hello, that gives me an opportunity to circle back around, but at least it has some more questions. I'm just curious, what else are you hearing? Are we having conversations?
I think we hear a lot today of people being lonely. I was listening to some report over the weekend about how many of our teens are lonely. And then you hear the other end of how many of our seniors are lonely. And I think Sally said earlier that the opportunity that we have to connect with people, if we do any kind of event, and we can, I think you mentioned it, Sharon, today, or maybe I'm wrong, but about the Thankful Thursdays. I mean, just a theme. I think every person on this call could do some type of a theme that could pull people together. And yes, we would always want to be sharing what we do to make a difference in the health and wellness of people, but to also share the caring and that need of people not wanting to be totally alone, or to feel safe in discussing what you were kind of saying a minute ago about what are some of these pain points. Is it worrying about paying for groceries? Is it worrying about making the house payment or whatever? Just to know that there's other people out there to share with. And we have that opportunity to do that by different events that we can do.
And I love that. I saw that event on the North American Facebook group, and there is a great Facebook group. If you all don't know about it, I would invite you to search it out. It's called the Juice Plus North American Events Group. And I love seeing all the different kinds of, I've gotten some super ideas, but I saw that one the other day when somebody did a Thankful Thursday. And I just thought that was a great idea for sure. So what kind of events would excite you guys? What excites you as far as events? Is there any certain kind that excite you?
I think getting together to have fun. I've decided after the Kentucky Lakes boot camp, when I saw how many people Wanda had, I said, I'm not selling this the right way. I've got to sell fun because I am fun. I can no more serious, Margie, and I think people want to spend time with people. And like, why have I gotten all these people coming? We had a Mediterranean bowls is something new, but we're having an opportunity to have fun and bond with people. I do think people are looking for a community and connection with people. From a mental health point of view, people are lonely. They're not going to say I'm lonely. but they're gonna say, oh, Margie, you look like you have so much fun. Where are you going now? You know, where are you going now? How can you go all the places that you go? I really share around my business. I work all my extra stuff for points to fly to see my grandbabies.
Thank you, Margie.
Hey, Sharon.
Yeah. Welcome, Jennifer.
Hey, so, just as far as the events, I've been doing sourdough for probably close to a year now, but I've also done other events, meal prep events, power bowl, salad in a jar. We've started doing some yoga and Pilates. I have an instructor on my team and they're coming and doing some of those. And we talked about this today, but, I want to go to one of Margie's events because I don't even know what it is, but I think, she's enthusiastic about it. I think that would be really fun. And so I think it's just finding the thing that you're passionate about. Like people buy you before they buy your product or your business. And just as far as like conversations, and I shared this a little bit on the call today, I think just like people tell us about their health problems and they don't say, hey, I've got a health problem, but it's, hey, my kid has strep again for the third time this year. We've got sinus, all these different things that we say. And just like I met with a medical professional last week, didn't really know her that well, but in literally 10 minutes, she had already told me if my husband did not work a full-time job, I could not own my own medical practice. It would be impossible. And that was just by me sitting down and just kind of having the thought of, I want to learn about her. I'm not here to tell her about me. I want to learn about her. What's important to her? And I think if we just do that with the idea to add value, hey, do they have a need? Do they have something that I can help with? I think is just the key. I had someone here today, a couple here for swim lessons, and I just came out here and talked to them. And guess what? She brought up Juice Plus. I did not bring up Juice Plus, but she was like, yeah, see, you got these tower gardens over here. Is that Juice Plus? So I just think, like, it's already been mentioned, people are craving connection. They're craving conversation. They want to be a part of something. And I think just finding an event that you are passionate about, not somebody else. You may hate sourdough, so don't do sourdough if you don't like it. But I think you will just attract what you are and just have fun. Like Margie said, just have fun.
Thanks. Thank
Hey,
you, Jennifer.
Sharon, I think it'd be fun listening to all this about Margie and grandma and all this stuff. It'd be kind of fun to have an event and title it for grandmas. And when they come in, have name tags and have their grandma name, like mine's Juju, and have all their different names on their tags. And I think one of the suggestions would be most grandmas are retired, so some of them might need another income at this point now. Or the main thing is that with my grandmas, I find out they are really concerned about what their grandkids are eating and how they're eating. It's really a concern because it's pretty bad. And I've got 3 grandkids and I don't really approve of the way they eat. But anyway, getting the Juice Plus in them is key, and telling them they can get it for free. And then another thing, I was talking to a grandmother today that's concerned about her son-in-law. And I said, because he's got a type of cancer. And I suggested to her, because they didn't feel like they could afford Juice Plus, his family could. I suggested to her that, I said, don't you find it hard to find them Christmas gifts at Christmas? I said, they got everything. And I said, have you ever thought about giving them Juice Plus for the year? That's their gift. Or for a few months till he gets through his surgery. Maybe we can gift people with Juice Plus if we can. And then she goes, well, you know what? Maybe I can get his parents to help too. And we can afford to get it for him. So we just got to put thoughts in people's minds.
Great
Well, some
idea. I
men
love
that
your
go with-
idea. I love your idea, Judy, on grandmothers getting together and having their it's priceless. Okay, we're getting at the top of the hour. I think we could have this conversation again in a few weeks if you guys would be open and entertain that, because this is stimulating our thinking, how we can better serve, how we can better love and contribute to others. But here is the takeaway, and I got a couple things I want to share with you, but the takeaway from this call is, first of all, we need to decide. We need to decide what this summer is going to look like, right? That would be a priority. Decide to get growing this summer. We decide to get involved this summer. And then the second takeaway would be to plan. Make a plan. And is your calendar backing up what you say about how you want to contribute and make a difference in people's lives? Does our Juice Plus calendar back us up, either in coffees or connections? And if you do have an event, my recommendation, and we talked about it this morning and Sandy reminded us, get a buddy. Buddy up with somebody. It could be a sideline buddy. It could be somebody on your team. It could be anybody, but buddy up with somebody. It's more fun. I love doing it when I know Judy is here in Nashville and Debbie and Mona and other people, and we all buddy up and we do things together. It makes it more fun when we can invite people together. So buddy up, plan what's in your calendar. And then the third final thing would be to execute. To execute, which means take action. Make it an activity that you take action with. And I know that our business and industry is changing, and many of us did that Kristen Boss a couple of weeks ago. And I captured a statement from in the Zoom, people were scrolling and saying things about their experience. And I captured this and I took a picture of it because it so resonated with me, because we can get very locked in. This is how I've always done it. I don't need to do it any differently. I'm going to still doing it the same way. And this is what this person said. I have noticed that my business is only hard if I choose to keep working the same way and refuse to pivot in my business. I've noticed it's only hard if I choose to do it the same way and I refuse to pivot in my business. I have made some changes in the way that I market and in the way that I do things, and I'm having more fun and the best year yet. Thank you for all your great guidance and training. So there is some freebie things out there. There are some reduced things with Kristen Boss and Brandon Barber. I think Kristen Boss is more in the marketing category, and I'm not trying to sell you on stuff, but we all need to get with the current times of what's going on in the marketplace, because it's not the same as it was a year ago or a couple of years ago. It is not the same. I thought that was I captured that because I go like, no, she's right. She's absolutely right. So I want to leave with you a couple of things. I'm going to share my screen again. David Beaver shared something with us in the 100 Club chat, or maybe the Founders chat, a few days ago, and I posted this in the Mission Possible, but I thought this would be good for us to remember why people come on and why we stay. Many of us came for different reasons, but we stay, right? And thank you all for staying. Some come for the fruits and vegetables and stay because of the science. Some start for the money and they fall in love with the people. Yes, amen. Some others come for the benefits, but will never leave because of personal growth. And then some join us to get their kids healthy, and they end up leaving or staying to leave a legacy. And many come for the freedom and flexibility, yet they stay for the challenge of growing a team. My question to each of us is, why are we staying? What is it that we want from this community, from this business, from this opportunity? And Zig Ziglar said it the best. And I was thinking about Zig today and what he said. If you get everything you want when you help other people get what they want. How can we go out and help somebody this week, this month? It's June the 3rd. How can we help somebody else get what they want this summer? And we can look back and say, I made a difference in somebody's life. And I agree. We don't have to say a lot. We just have to keep showing up. And then next week we have a special speaker. I'm going to share this again so that you all will get this. This is really important. And I invite you all to join us, get as many of your team members on as possible. Stephen Millman is our new head of North American Sales and Field Relationship. He is basically the vice president of North America right now. They're calling it the head of, but I'd say vice president of North America Sales. And he led, for those of us that were in Indy, we saw that he hosted that beautifully. He has been the president of Canada for X amount of years. He's grown up in this business. He started in the office. He literally grew up to be vice president of Canada, or president of Canada rather, and directed them well. And they're pretty mad at us for snagging him. So they have lost a good one, but we have gained somebody really with passion and mission and heart. And so I invite you to come in and hear him next week. He offered, I reached out to him as soon as I could, and he said, yes, he would come in and share with us that we could meet him up close and personal. And he's also coming to the Kentucky Lakes boot camp next year. I've already got him locked and loaded. So, all right, guys, let's go out there and find a way to make a difference. And it is about leaning in to listen, leaning in to discover how we can serve more. And thank you, everybody, for your contribution tonight. It was great. Thank you. Have a good week. Good night, everybody.
Great
night.
call. Thank you so much, everybody.